Hello students, the topic we'll be seeing today in oral histology is cementum. Under cementum, we'll be seeing about periodontium, structure of cementum, composition of cementum, organic content of cementum, inorganic content of cementum, stages of cementum formation, sequence of events in cementogenesis, hyaline layer of Hopewell-Smith, Sharpie's fibers, incremental lines of Salter, and finally, Schroeder's classification of cementum. Moving on, the cementum is a part of the periodontium. The periodontium has gingiva, cementum, PDL or the periodontal ligament fibers, and the alveolar bone. Now, if you can see in this image, this yellow color outline around the root dentin is the cementum. The pulp is here. This light brown shaded area is the radicular dentin or the root dentin, and surrounding the radicular dentin is the cementum. Structure of cementum. It originates from the ectomesenchymal cells of the dental follicle. MCQ to note, the color of cementum is light yellow and it is lighter in color than the dentin. It is thinnest at the cemento-enamel junction, 20 to 50 micrometers, and thickest at the apex, 150 to 200 micrometers. It is thinnest at the cemento-enamel junction, only 20 to 50 micrometers, and it is thickest at the apex, 150 to 200 micrometers in thickness. It is a completely permeable structure. Cellular cementum is more permeable when compared to acellular cementum. Composition of cementum, 50 to 55% is of organic substances and water, and 45 to 50% is of inorganic substances. The organic content of the cementum is composed of collagen fibers type 1, 3, 5, 9, and 14, and glycosaminoglycans, which is chondroitin 4 sulfate and dermatan sulfate. Non-collagenous proteins also constitute the organic content. They are alkaline phosphatase, bone siloprotein, fibronectin, osteocalcin, osteonectin, osteopontin, and vitronectin. Cementum-derived attachment protein is the insulin-like growth factor 1. This is present in cementum. One word to note. Growth factors in the cementum are OPG and rankle. They are responsible for cementum resorption during shedding. This is also an MCQ to note. Moving on to the inorganic content. Calcium and phosphate in the form of hydroxyapatite crystals are present. Trace elements like copper, fluorine, iron, lead, potassium, silica, sodium, and zinc are also found. Cementum has the highest fluoride content. This is an important one word to note. It is not enamel, not dentin, but cementum which has the highest fluoride content. Stages of cementum formation is divided into phase 1 and phase 2. Phase 1 is matrix formation, that is laying down of cementoid tissue, and phase 2 is mineralization. Now I have illustrated the stages of cementum formation, cementogenesis, with diagrams. First step is the descent of Hertwig's epithelial root sheath from the cervical loop. You can see in this image, this is the cervical loop, and from here you can see descending of the hairs. Second step is deposition of dentin along the inner layer of hairs. The cervical loop, from there hairs has descended, and along the hairs inner surface you can see dentin deposition in light green color. Now always remember students, in the crown, dentin is deposited first, followed by enamel, and in the root, dentin is deposited first, followed by the cementum. This is called as reciprocal induction. Why we say reciprocal induction is because dentin is formed first and the odontoblastic cells stimulate the amyloblasts and the cementoblasts to deposit enamel and cementum respectively. So it is called as reciprocal induction. Third step in cementogenesis is the Hertz disintegrates. And the fourth step is cementoblasts come into picture. From the undifferentiated mesenchymal cells of the pulp, cementoblasts differentiate and they deposit cementum. After the first layer of cementum is deposited, mineralization starts. These are the steps in cementogenesis. Moving on to hyaline layer of Hopwell-Smith. Now this is a layer of dentin, which is an unmineralized zone present between the cementum and dentin near the cementodentinal junction. Most peripheral layer of initially unmineralized dentin that forms immediately adjacent to the CDJ. Hyaline layer of Hopwell-Smith eventually mineralizes, but not before the rest of the dentin is already mineralized. It is found between dentin and cementum. Thickness is 10 micrometers. It originates from the epithelial cells and the enamel matrix proteins. Function is it induces cementoblast formation and it cements the cementum to the tooth. You should know to identify which is the hyaline layer of Hopwell-Smith, students. So for that, remember the following mnemonic: D, H, T, and AC. From the inner surface to the outer surface, D, H, T, and AC. If you can see in this image, A is D, dentin, followed by H. This light colored band, narrow band is H, hyaline layer of Hopwell-Smith. After the hyaline layer of Hopwell-Smith is the Tombs granular layer. After that is the acellular cementum. D, H, T, and AC. Dentin, hyaline layer of Hopwell-Smith, Tombs granular layer, and acellular cementum. Sharpie's fibers. At the start of cementogenesis, collagen fibers are arranged perpendicular to the dentin. Embedded portion of the collagen fibers become mineralized and they are called as Sharpie's fibers. If you can see in this image, collagen fibers, a part of them get embedded in the cementum. Sharpie's fibers are nothing but collagen fibers. One second. Sharpie's fibers are nothing but collagen fibers getting embedded in the cemental matrix. Moving on to incremental lines of Salter. Now, incremental lines of Salter are lines which represent the rest periods in cementum formation. They are parallel to the long axis of the tooth. Now, in enamel, dentin, and cementum, we have incremental lines. Incremental lines of enamel are called Retzius. Incremental lines of dentin, von Ebner. And incremental lines of cementum are Salter. Now, one special feature about incremental lines of Salter is that they are the only hypermineralized incremental line found in human dentition. Moving on to Schroeder's classification of cementum. He classified cementum into acellular afibrillar cementum, acellular extrinsic fiber cementum, cellular mixed stratified cementum, and cellular intrinsic fiber cementum. Acellular afibrillar cementum contains only mineralized ground substances, no cells nor collagen fibers. Thickness is 1 to 1.5 micrometers. It lacks collagen and hence plays an important role in attachment. Site of acellular afibrillar cementum is the coronal region, that is near the crown region. Moving on to acellular extrinsic fiber cementum. Site is found in the cervical third. Students, these are all very important. Which type of cementum is found where? Acellular afibrillar is found in coronal cementum. Acellular extrinsic fiber cementum is found in the cervical third. It contains no cells. The thickness is 30 to 230 micrometers. Contains densely packed bundles of Sharpie's fibers. Which is the type of cementum that contains Sharpie's fibers? Answer is acellular extrinsic fiber cementum. One word to note. Cellular mixed stratified cementum. Site apical third of root and furcation areas. Thickness is 100 to 1000 micrometers. It contains extrinsic and intrinsic fibers. It may or may not contain cells. Cellular intrinsic fiber cementum. It contains cells but no extrinsic fibers. It fills the resorption lacunae. So in areas of resorption, you can see cellular intrinsic fiber cementum. We are finishing cementum here. Moving on to one words. Now students, from cementum, a lot of one words will be asked, especially based on Schroeder's classification. So kindly pay attention. Cementoblasts are derived from dash. The answer is ectomesenchymal cells of the dental follicle. Second question, which is the only incremental line in human dentition that is hypermineralized? Answer is A, incremental lines of Salter. That is, incremental line of the cementum is the only hypermineralized incremental line. That's all students. Thank you.